Okay. Hi. Welcome to the first pool podcast on Pool Talk is the name. We're going to discuss many issues with homeowners that have swimming pools, whether it's existing or maybe you're even looking into purchasing your first swimming pool. My name's Mike Alford. I've been in the industry 47 years. I've worked in the field the full time, even though I'd owned my company. Started in 1983 and I closed the company in 23 due to loss of lifetime employees and not able to really uh, build back my staff. So I'm going to go into now at this point in my life, after 40 years of owning Mike's Pools and Spas, I'm going to offer my experience to my viewers. So this is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to take comments and you can leave feedback. Um, we're going to start out, I guess, because this is January, the new year. People are going to be looking at either purchasing pools or getting their pool ready to open, and already knowing that you got problems before you open. So I'm just going to start out because we're going to need the viewers to ask questions so that we can leave comments and ask questions so that we can actually carry on the podcast and make it more fun and exciting. These are going to be pre-recorded right now. We will be doing live in the future to do questions and answers. With my experience and knowledge in the field, there's probably very little that I haven't done, and things that I did not know. I figured it out. So, self-taught, self-educated in this industry. There is a lot of advanced technology that is way above my head when it comes to automation. Those things that we get into later in this podcast, we'll have guests, we'll have suppliers, different pool suppliers across the country that you can purchase your products from, and even your local pool companies. But I'm going to start out with just talking about what we're going to be doing first. You're going to be opening your swimming pool, or you're going to have, one of your local companies come and open it. But we'll just do it, start here the way that we open our pools. So I'm going to start what we've done is we pull up at our customer's house, and we go in the backyard just like you're going to do. We're going to start with cleaning the area around the pool. We will pump the water off the pool, but during that time, we will also add a water hose under the cover first thing to get started. Turn it on, start adding water. Then we clean the area, we clean the cover off, and we remove the cover. Now, there's different types of covers. Of course, there's those that have water bags. There's the anchor type that you have too, and they're solid and mesh. Each one of them are pretty unique in their own way because if you have a solid cover, your pool's probably going to be clean if it was clean to start with and treated properly. If the pool is green when you close it, because some homeowners there at the end tend to let them go while they're waiting on the pool company to come and close. When the water is unbalanced and you close it, more than likely you're going to have a dirty pool when you open it. So if you have a mesh cover, you're going to have a dirty pool. But there's little things that I've learned that you can do if you got a mesh cover. Be sure to add algaecide through the cover periodically through the winter on those warm days. So, anyways, we're going to go with again. We're going to take and blow the pad with the filtration system. Clean it. We're going to clean the deck. We're going to clean the cover off, and we're going to remove the cover, clean it, fold it, and we will put it in the proper place, or the homeowners will put it where they store their covers. Once the cover is removed, which I have a checklist that we go by, and I created it the pool opening checklist. This is pretty thorough because it allows my employees to look at each thing that needs to be done around the pool and also check it off. So I've made forms pretty much for everything that we do in our business so that any employee that works for me doesn't have to tell me that they have everything when more than likely they don't. They have glue that's not there. When they get 2 hours away from here and they call me and say, "Hey, the glue was in the truck yesterday." And I said, "Yeah, where are you at?" "Well, 2 hours away from home. You got any money? And do you know where you can go get the glue?" That will never happen, has never happened but once with me, because I have a checklist for that too. The checklist that I have for that is what we call a truck checklist. This is this checklist right here. And this truck checklist consists of everything that the men need on the truck to do the job properly. So, other than the items that they take to do specific repairs, they're prepared to do anything when they get on a job. So, I'm going to be extremely thorough about things that we do and how we did it. The I don't have a clean pool opening checklist here. I don't think. Let me see if I have one. I should have had it here, Donnie. We got a pool closing checklist, but I don't have my pool opening checklist. So, what we're going to do is I want to tell you that when we do close a pool closing, we do, we have a checklist where we check for everything. There we go. Donnie just handed that to me. So that we'll get back to the pool closing because your pool's already been closed by now. So, when you do a pool opening, we have our opening pool checklist, which is right here. This was created by me and the employees, including myself. When we go to open a pool, we make sure that we check off everything that needs to be done here. And there's comments down at the bottom so that they can inform me if I'm not there of certain issues that might need to be addressed with the homeowners. So when you take and you remove the cover, fold it, and put it up, the next step would be to take the winter plugs out of your pool. So you'll screw your winter plugs out, and you're going to put your eyeballs in. And some pools are going to have designated cleaning lines. So they'll have a special fitting that goes in for the type of cleaner, which would be maybe a quick disconnect for a Polaris cleaner, pressure side. Um, but you'll usually find those located closer to the center of the pool. You're going to find out real quick if you don't know where it's at when you start the pool up. So once you get your now you go to your skimmers and you remove your gizmos. The gizmos are there to actually collapse as water freezes around them. And I prefer the pool to be fuller to help. If it's a liner pool, it helps keep the liner tight against the walls so that water that comes in around the deck doesn't work its way to the pool and equalizes the pressure from coming in up high from around steps or the joints of the panels, which they can leak from up high and it leaks in behind the liner and it actually causes the liner to separate from the wall, which what I call equalizing. Once it does that, if it is a wet period of time, moisture from the groundwater can also be released through a deeper depth, which could be the groundwater down in the 8 foot area. But that when once you have equalization and water gets behind the liner, it seems to just water goes behind it and it will float. The liner will float over time. It will disappear. You'll open your pool and you'll have wrinkles in your pool. Um, so, first thing you want to do when you get it uncovered, you want to make sure that you don't have wrinkles in your pool. If you can see, all right, if you can't see, you will have to clear your pool to be able to identify wrinkles. That could be costly because it costs chemicals. So, if you do have wrinkles after you open your pool, if you didn't have them there when you closed it, you want to take care of that. You want to call your pool professional, get a hold of me. I can walk you through what you need to do. There's options that you have according to how bad the wrinkles are in the pool. I have taken care of thousands of them. So also I can identify the problem. You can talk to me about it. I can actually find out from you a little more about your pool through sending me pictures of your deck and surrounding landscaping. We can figure out how water's getting to your pool and floating your liner when it rains because it's coming from the surface that's actually causing your problems. Um, Groundwater will not float a liner. Okay, I am a specialist in vinyl liner pools. I've installed fiberglass pools. Never did I ever install a gunite pool. So I can tell you about the filtration system. I can talk to you about the plumbing, anything that other than the gunite itself, the tile replacement, things like that. That's pretty common. It's easy to do. So we're going to be able to help you pretty much with all your problems. I just need to know what the problem is, and you can we're going to either talk live or we can even talk on my phone. So we will do what we can to help you and give you answers to all your problems. Um, we'll help you be able to locate and purchase the right product. Believe me, I've gone to plenty shows across the country from Atlantic City to Las Vegas to Orlando. And we do that so that we can identify and look at new, exciting products that come out in our industry. And believe me, every year there's something new out there that's really innovative and works well for pools. But I can tell you that there's a lot of those things also that'll wind up on a shelf, money spent and not used. So when I went to a show, I looked at things I knew were going to be a great product for the customer and avoided stopping and wasting my time on products that I knew that would be a shelf item. So, getting back to the pool opening, once you install your plugs and get your gizmo out, put your skimmer baskets in. You're actually filling the pool up to the level it needs to be at this point, and you want to test your pool water. You want to make sure what you need to do. You're going to shock your pool. You're going to algicide your pool. You're going to balance your alkalinity and check your pH. So, calcium hardness and other things like that. Once a month, you want to go to your local pool store, have your pool water tested thoroughly. But you want to test your pool water weekly, and until you balance out your chlorine level and understand that your system is working correctly and that you're getting the chemical needed for your pool from one day to the next day to the next day, you check it, everything's staying consistent, then you stick with the program. So sticking with that is very important. Another thing is never neglect your filtration system. So we're going to go to that next. We're going to go there. We're going to put the plugs in the pump. You've got two usually in your main pump. You've got one in your filter, and it could be a cap or it could be a plug. But you're going to put your plugs in. Also in your heater, if you have a heater, there's a plug that came out of your heater. And if you have a salt system, a salt cell may have been removed and stored, but you're going to take and reinstall it. Now, prior to reinstalling, you also want to use any O-rings, any unions that are loose or off. Go on and take them and lubricate your O-rings. You want to get Magic Lube right here. This is what you need to lubricate any O-ring. Never use petroleum-based products like Vaseline or anything on anything on your pool. Magic Lube you can get from your local pool retailer and or order it online. That is a must. Keep a little tube of that. It'll last you years, but it'll make the world of difference when well, you don't know it until it's done. Okay, so let's just say that you don't lubricate the lid on your pump pot. There's an O-ring in there. It needs to be lubed. If you don't lube it, someday it's going to really get old and cracky, and you do have to replace them occasionally. But you check them by taking the O-ring and bending it. You see cracks or anything in it, you need to replace that O-ring. Lube it. Don't stretch it. Just lube it. Put it on. Put the lid back on. A lot of times those things are cracked. They got cracks in them. And you put the lid on and you see air flowing into your pump while it's running. That's one thing you're going to check when you do your startup. So once you get all your plugs in, you're going to prime your pump. and you add water till the pump is full, and then you put your lid on after you lubricated your O-ring stuff. You put your lid on, snug it, and then you want to turn your pump on. You want to watch for a few minutes there. Just watch your system. Make sure that all the air bubbles in your pump disappear. That's the first thing because it's coming from your main drain and your skimmers. So you're going to look into the pump pot, and if it's full and it's flowing really good, and there's no air, and it's all the air is worked out of the system, that is perfect. You're good. If you have air bubbles in the pump pot, now first thing we're looking through is that. Also, you're looking at your filter, and you want to make sure that your pressure gauge is working correctly. Very important. One of the most important things on your pool. So you want to take and make sure that the pump is flowing. Water pressure is going to the pool. You're also looking for leaks. You're going to bleed your filter if there's a bleeder on it. You want to bleed the air out of the system. So then you're going to look at the pressure gauge. You see that the pump pot's full of water. You see that the pressure gauge is working. It goes 12, 15 is what I say is normal, 12 to 15 pounds. They might say 12 to 20. 20 to me is a little high, but that is could be due to a lot of things, pipe sizing, jet sizes in the pool, um, that can cause that, or dirty sand. Your filter could be dirty, or your cartridges could be dirty. So I tell people just to hit recirculate. So you cut it off, go to recirculate. Look and see what your pressure is at that point on your pressure gauge. Big difference. Guarantee that you got a problem with your filter sand, but um, you want to backwash and rinse really good. There is filter cleaner that you can use, and go by the instructions on the filter cleaner. But if it stays higher than what it was, if you can remember or recorded what it was when you had new sand or when the pool was new, and then you knew that you started out at whatever the pressure was on your sand filter, keep that in mind. That's your normal level that your system runs at 100%. So as the sand in the filter cartridges get dirty, the pressure goes up. And if it gets for me, 6 to 8 pounds above normal, it's time to backwash and rinse. That way, the chemicals going into your pool stay consistent. So that if it's a chlorinator or if it's your salt system, it doesn't really matter. It's the turnover rate that you're getting. So basically, your pump's going to turn your pool water over in the pool 8 to 10 hours, every 8 to 10 hours. So we talk about turnover rate. So if you have your pressures right, your pump's running, you're turning that water over about every 8 to 10 hours in your pool. That's good. Now remember, you're also introducing chemicals that you're using with your chemical feeder or your salt system. So everything is set to your turnover rate. Things change with variable speed pumps, which save you money. That's why you have to make adjustments and set the levels higher if you're doing. We're going to get into a lot of these things. Variable speed pumps, they're fantastic. They save you a lot of money, but you got to know that you have to readjust your system to be consistently putting the right amount of chemical in your pool. Anytime, whether it's a variable speed pump or if your filter pressure gets high, then the pressure to the water flow to your pool is very restricted. You're not getting proper chemicals introduced into your pool. Your balance in chlorine, your sanitizer is going to get mixed up. So it's a good idea to know that your filtration system is working 100%. So you want to take a look at it daily. Just take a look at it while it's running. Just glance at your pressure gauge. Look at the system. Make sure that it's not leaking anywhere around there. Um, it's important to make sure that your baskets are empty. So your skimmer baskets can get full, and that would drop the pressure on your pressure gauge because the pump is not getting the water to put into the filter. So when your skimmer basket gets dirty, your pressure is reduced. So be sure to check your skimmer baskets and dump them. Now, if you got a full skimmer basket and you try to pull that out, you're going to get debris into your pipes going to your pump, and it can clog your pump filter up to your pump basket. So you want to keep an eye on your pump basket too, because it can get debris in it. All these things can help reduce the flow of water to the filter and to the pool. And once you get past your pump pot and you go through the to the filter, everything from there to the pool is pressure. You're more than likely going to see water or loss of water. So there's two things. You got pressure after the pump, and before the pump, you got water being pulled. It would pull air before it'd pull water, so you'd see air. On the other side, you would see water or loss of water in your pool if there was a busted pipe, crack in a pipe, or something going on around the pool. If it wasn't properly winterized, we had a bad cold winter. There's been so many times when people didn't blow the water out of their system and plug them that the elbow going to the return would be the ideal spot for it to freeze and bust during the winter. That's the most vulnerable area around a pool in the winter time, is people thinking that it's very well insulated under the deck when it could be completely exposed based on how the builder backfilled the pool. So, so we're going there. We got the system. You're looking for leaks. You've lubricated the pump. You put the plugs in, lubricated the pump. You're looking for leaks. Your pressure gauge is working good. You backwashed, you rinsed if it was necessary, and now your system is up and running. You've checked your chemistry. You've done your initial dose, which is shock algicide, and adjusting your alkalinity. So now let's look at your pool bottom. Okay, so we look at the pool bottom. Now there's things that you can do. We have a leaf eater that is ideal, and if you don't have one, get one. A leaf eater, like you can get them now. I think they even got them battery operated, but they hook to a garden hose. And Donnie or somebody, would you grab me one? Just let me show them what it looks like. Okay, so a leaf eater is probably the easiest way to clean debris out of the pool quickly. Better than just putting a cleaner in and letting it randomly get it. It just bothers you. So if you take a garden hose and your vacuum pole, you hook this attachment here to it. This is a basic leaf eater right here. Your hose hooks to it here. Your vacuum pole, your hose hooks to here. You can put a cutoff on your garden hose, but you hook this thing up, add water through the inside here. You got these jets that shoot up into the bag that you have on your. So you got a bag that locks on, which they got to get a good bag here. It actually got a pull string and it locks on the bag. The bag, you can fill it up with leaves and debris. You just roll this around on your pool and it's just going to pick up all that big debris, little leaves, little particles. It'll blow all that up in here just through the venturi, the way that the jets blow in here. So that is a really good made thing. Whoever invented that come out with something really great for our industry when they did. So I love them. We use them on our maintenance truck, or used them on our maintenance truck everywhere we went. We used them in the winter. We use them in the summer. If you've got trees or any kind of debris that gets in your pool, you need a leaf eater. It's just so easy to clean your pool with that. Now, when it comes to the your dirt on the bottom of your pool, and well, I like to always hand vacuum to waste to get all that stuff off the bottom of the pool that's been there through the winter. Now, if the pool was closed perfectly clean and it had a solid cover, you're probably going to have a clean pool. Makes it good and fun when you open them. But a lot of times you're going to have to address the initial startup and cleaning the pool. So we have a pump designated strictly to put the vacuum hose on and discharge the water. We will vacuum that pool to waste and discharge that out just to get all that dirty stuff out of there and not have to run it through the filter or through your robotic cleaner. If you have a robotic cleaner, just remember it's a maintenance cleaner and you want to use it to do maintenance. So get your pool good and clean in the spring when you open it, and then put your cleaner in the pool and let it do what it does best. It's going to pick up debris on the bottom of the pool and dirt, put out clean water, and they're some of the best, most innovative products that have been out there since I've been in the business. So there's many brands out there they're basically all efficient, and some better than others. But I can refer you to certain brands. You can ask me questions, and I'll answer them for you professionally, honestly, in my professional opinion. So I'm just the pool builder that I've been since I started. I quit school in 11th grade. All I've done is this: build and repair and remodel in-ground pools for 47 years. So we've been on here long enough. I've talked to you a little bit. I'd love to hear from you. Please put in comments what you want to talk about next, and we'll have another one that we're going to be putting out uh, next week, and we'll get them together. We're going to put this podcast together, and just remember, it's Pool Talk, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.